The courtroom buzzed, quiet murmurs of restless spectators shifting between the imposing judge at the bench and the nervous young man at the defense table. Kingsford County Courthouse walls bore a century of verdicts, tension unusually charged. All eyes were on 19-year-old Adrian Brooks, slim, unassuming in ill-fitted shirt and scuffed sneakers, clutching disheveled papers, knuckles white with pressure. Judge Barbara Stone, authority incarnate, a no-nonsense jurist, showed disdain, peering over her glasses. "Mr. Brooks," she clipped, "the court doesn't take kindly to unprepared individuals, does it?" Adrian cleared his throat, trembling. "Yes, Your Honor, I do." Faint chuckles from the gallery, and the judge's subtle smirk, already deciding the outcome. Barbara leaned back, arms folded. "Very well, Mr. Brooks, let's see what you've got." It seemed destined for failure, Adrian representing himself in a minor traffic dispute, but everyone dismissed naivety, unaware of a secret that would unravel. Adrian inhaled, fingers tightening, the room pressing on him, scrutiny and doubt evident. Judge Stone tapped her pen, impatient. "Mr. Brooks, dismiss if you're not ready." Muted laughter rippled. Adrian lifted his gaze, voice steady. "I'm ready, Your Honor." Barbara sighed, gesturing. "Then get on with it." Adrian stepped forward, sneakers echoing, glancing at the seasoned attorney opposite, who offered a dismissive smile. Adrian began, recounting the speeding ticket incident with striking precision, referencing timestamps, road conditions, officer's position. His delivery deliberate, tone humble, confidence building. The judge leaned forward, pen slowing, jotting notes. Adrian cited a statute from the California Vehicle Code with startling accuracy. "According to Section 40,802B, Your Honor, the method used to determine my speed may not be admissible under the conditions stated by the law." Judge Stone's brow furrowed. Unexpected statute, effective use. The courtroom's amusement turned to intrigue. The opposing lawyer interrupted. "Your Honor, irrelevant. The statute doesn't apply." Adrian didn't falter. "With all due respect, it does." He walked to the evidence table, pulling out a detailed diagram. "This diagram shows why the radar used couldn't have accurately captured my speed from where the officer was stationed." Judge Stone blinked, caught between skepticism and genuine surprise. Adrian had challenged the opposing counsel convincingly. The courtroom fell silent. Adrian's voice grew steady, confidence blooming. "Your Honor, the foundation of this case rests on the credibility of the evidence presented. If the evidence is flawed, then so is the charge against me." He turned to the opposing counsel, respectful but pointed. "May I ask if the prosecution can confirm the calibration of the radar gun used during the stop?" The seasoned attorney shifted, caught off guard. "We do not have that documentation readily available, Your Honor, but it's a standard procedure." Adrian held up his hand, seeking permission to proceed. Judge Stone, curiosity piqued, nodded. "Standard procedure isn't proof," Adrian replied. "The law requires verification, not assumptions. Without that calibration record, the evidence cannot be considered reliable." Murmurs grew louder, people whispered, no longer laughing. Judge Stone took a breath, addressing him again. "Mr. Brooks, you seem to have a deeper understanding of legal processes than most. Where did you learn this?" Adrian hesitated. "I've been studying law since I was 13, Your Honor. I passed the bar last year." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Even the opposing attorney raised his eyebrows. Judge Stone leaned forward, expression hard to read. "You're telling me you're a licensed attorney at your age?" "Yes, Your Honor. I've always had a passion for law." Adrian paused, glancing down. "I also know how people see me when I walk into a room. They assume I don't belong." The judge straightened, demeanor shifting, doubt giving way to respect. Adrian pressed on, presenting more evidence, dismantling opposing arguments, referencing case law, even the skeptics nodding. He cross-examined the officer's report, pointing out inconsistencies. Each point was met with stunned silence or approval. The question lingered. How far could he push this case? Tension peaked as Adrian presented his final argument. Voice unwavering, demeanor exuding authority. The courtroom hung on every word. "Your Honor," Adrian said, tone calm, commanding, "this case isn't just about a speeding ticket. It's about fairness. about ensuring that every individual, regardless of their appearance or age, is afforded the same standard of justice. Judge Stone leaned forward, studying Adrian, demeanor softened. "And what exactly are you suggesting, Mr. Brooks?" Adrian took a breath. "I'm suggesting that the evidence presented is not only unreliable, but that it violates the principles of due process. Without proper calibration records, the radar's accuracy is in question. Without consistent reporting, the officer's testimony is incomplete. Without clear evidence, this case should not proceed." The opposing attorney stood abruptly. "Your Honor, this is absurd. He's twisting technicalities to—" Judge Stone raised a hand, silencing him. "Sit down, counselor." She returned to Adrian. "Continue." Adrian nodded, holding up his papers. "I've prepared a motion to dismiss the charges based on these deficiencies. The law isn't about technicalities, it's about facts, evidence, and justice." The room seemed to hold its breath. Judge Stone reviewed the motion, furrowed brow. Finally, she placed it down, looked up at Adrian. "This is—" she began, trailing off. "This is remarkably well prepared, Mr. Brooks, far beyond what I've seen from most first-year attorneys." The gallery erupted into whispers, silenced by a rap of the gavel. She turned to the opposing attorney, visibly flustered. "Counselor, do you have a rebuttal?" The attorney stood, hesitation evident. "No, Your Honor. The defense has presented a compelling argument." Judge Stone's gaze returned to Adrian. Sternness softened. "Mr. Brooks, I misjudged you. You have not only demonstrated a thorough understanding of the law, but have also reminded us all of its purpose. I hereby grant your motion to dismiss the charges." The sound echoed, followed by stunned silence. Then applause began, spectators rising. Adrian looked around, relief and disbelief. Judge Stone stood, expression unreadable. "Court is adjourned," before stepping down. As she passed Adrian, she paused, extended her hand. "You have a bright future ahead of you, Mr. Brooks. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Adrian shook her hand, voice steady. "Thank you, Your Honor, that means a lot." As Adrian left the courtroom, this was only the beginning of a journey, challenging and inspiring far beyond those walls. The buzz followed him like a wave. Reporters loitering in the lobby turned their attention to the young man. Cameras flashed, microphones thrust. Adrian hesitated, caught off guard. "Adrian Brooks, is it true you passed the bar at 18? Did you expect to win today?" Adrian raised a hand, signaling quiet, expression calm, slight smile betrayed pride. "I came here to defend myself, just like anyone else would. I didn't expect anything except fairness, and that's exactly what I got." His humility fueled the intrigue. Within hours, the courtroom clip of his closing argument trended on social media, amassing millions of views. Comments ranged from awe to outrage. Adrian's story was now national. Back at home, Adrian's mother, Lorraine, watched the news, pride and worry. She had always known her son was special, but knew how society treated young men like him. As reporters dissected every detail, Lorraine's phone buzzed. "Mom," Adrian said softly, walking through the door, tired eyes meeting hers. Lorraine pulled him into a tight embrace. "You were incredible, Adrian. I just hope they see you for who you are now." The viral attention brought opportunities and challenges. Law firms offered internships. Advocacy groups highlighted Adrian as a symbol. Skeptics questioned his abilities, framing his success as a lucky anomaly. Meanwhile, Judge Barbara Stone faced her own reckoning. In interviews, she admitted to underestimating Adrian, using the experience as a personal wake-up call. "That young man reminded me of why I entered this profession in the first place," she told a journalist. "Justice should never hinge on assumptions." The case sparked a larger conversation about bias, perseverance, and challenging expectations. Even as the world debated, Adrian prepared for what came next. This was just the first step towards something greater. Adrian's story lingered in conversations, classrooms, courtrooms. People debated the deeper issues. How often did society judge individuals based on appearance, age, or circumstances? The victory in court was about showing that talent, intelligence, and determination could come from anywhere. "If we focus only on what we think someone can't do," Adrian said in an interview, "we'll never see what they're actually capable of." Judge Stone's transformation became another significant takeaway. In later cases, she was more attentive. In one interview, she reflected, "That day in court taught me more than years on the bench ever could. Adrian Brooks showed me the power of humility, preparation, and resilience, and he reminded me to look beyond the surface." For viewers and readers, the moral was simple. Assumptions are easy, but fairness requires effort. By judging less and listening more, we create space for others to thrive. Adrian became a symbol of perseverance. Schools invited him to speak, law firms extended invitations, and young people across the nation saw him as proof. But Adrian didn't let fame distract him. He remained focused, determined to use his platform to inspire others to challenge barriers. Months after the courtroom drama, Adrian Brooks continued to forge his path. He took his platform as a responsibility, mentoring young people, advocating for fair treatment, and reminding others that success is about persistence and preparation, not just opportunity. In a heartfelt speech, Adrian summed up his journey. "I didn't walk into that courtroom to prove anyone wrong. I walked in to prove myself right. We all have moments when people doubt us, but those moments aren't walls, they're doors waiting to be opened." The audience erupted in applause. He had plans to continue his education, fight for justice, and help others realize their potential. His story became a beacon of hope, a reminder that talent could rise above bias and that no one's worth should be judged at face value. For viewers, it's a call to action to challenge your assumptions about others. The next time you see someone and think you've already figured out their story, ask yourself, what might you be missing? Adrian's journey wasn't about a courtroom victory. It was about resilience, self-belief, and the power of defying expectations. And in every step forward, he carried the hope that his story would inspire others to take theirs. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories that challenge, inspire, and remind us of the incredible potential in all of us.